Right now, it is Sunday, May 26, 2024, and something crazy just happened when I got home from my Florida trip. And it just seems like something is different in this house since coming back here. And I'm not trying to draw attention to the paranormal, but something seems off in this house when I got back. What? Okay, that just whispered something. That Alexa device just whispered something. Again, it's happened before. And this time, it happened when I was doing my intro. I don't know what it said though. Let me stop this. I want to play it back to see if I can figure out what it just whispered to me. I just played back this video and that Alexa device told me to get out of this house now. Why would I need to get out of this house now? I was away all day yesterday. Took a road trip to Florida. Total of 9 hours of driving, going there and back. And I come home and something crazy happens. When I pull up in the driveway, my garage door was already open. I don't know why it was open. Normally when I pull up, my garage door is closed and it starts to open as I'm approaching the driveway. But this time it was open. I come in the house and those cabinet doors were open. I shut my cabinet doors. I don't leave anything open. So I don't know what happened, but nothing shows up on my security camera. So nobody came in here. I'm not even going to entertain the thought of ghosts. But that device whispering, get out of this house now. I've never had an opportunity to actually catch this on video whispering to me. And today it just happened. That actually, for an example, if I want this device to speak to me in a whispering voice, I ask a question as whispering and it responds. Echo, what is today's date?
Today is Sunday, May 26th.
See, whatever. I almost said she, like it's AI. It doesn't have any gender, right? It's just electronics, it's computer, it's artificial intelligence. But that's got me thinking. Now, I don't know if somebody's messing with these things. You know, you can probably find a way to compromise these devices. I don't trust them anyway. I try to keep, I have that little shutter on there closed so it doesn't watch me. Probably hearing me anyway. But it was a very stressful drive coming back. I'm just lucky to be here after the craziness I saw on the highway. I think now is a good time to let you know what has been happening since the start of the new year. You've witnessed me dealing with a lot of anxiety. You've witnessed me being so stressed out. And I've heard from the paranormal community that your emotions, your anger, your fear, your anxiety, all that can feed spirits, can feed these energies. And those who may have a haunted house and are dealing with these kinds of emotions may have elevated paranormal activity in their homes. Not to say that my emotions and stress and anxiety is causing all this craziness that you have witnessed in my videos, because that's a whole other conversation. But what I'm saying is that I do believe in that, because when I have a lot of anxiety and maybe even anger or the fear of the unknown, I just sense this energy in this house. And that's when things happen, such as this whispering. I caught it on camera this time. I've had subtle things happen in this house that I don't even consider YouTube worthy because they could be easily debunked, right? But I don't see anybody in here causing things. But some of the more intense things, I don't even want to go down that road right now, because I'm trying to not be that person right now. I'm trying not to draw the negative attention to my house for the sake of my mental health. But I do have some beliefs in some of the things that have happened in here and how it's a connection to my emotions and my anxieties. And I've had health anxieties that I've been getting over, and I'm much better with that. But the financial worries, the anxieties of this crazy stalker woman who has been stalking me for a couple of years and following me around, and she just had this obsession with me. And she had this obsession with my Tesla. And so she would walk around all the time. It's like, I have so many pictures of her from the Tesla cam walking around the Tesla. It's like she was looking in the windows and she would follow me places. She knew I was driving one, so she knew where to follow me at. And then it got to the point where I just had enough. Between my financial worries, the uncertainties, the fears of potentially losing this house, I've had medical bills piling up. And I've had other bills piling up because things just happened unexpectedly. Things were breaking down. There was unexpected expenses, but I'm not going to be whining about these things. I addressed a lot of that stuff over the last, I don't know, few months. And I know January was like a really, really rough time. And so I ended up selling my Tesla. And that was on January 7th, 2024. You know, I felt like it was a target. Between that crazy stalker woman and her just being obsessed with my Tesla and her being obsessed with me, and then she can find where I am going because she recognized the Tesla, and just the Tesla being a target in general, because, you know, it's, I don't know, it has become a political thing, especially with these EVs, and some people just hate on them, just like some people hate on BMWs. It's just crazy. But between that and the financial uncertainties, especially with my medical bills that were piling up, and I was like, I was just overwhelmed and stressed and didn't want to lose the house, and, you know, just things were happening. And anyway, the whole thing with the Tesla, I had to owe, you know, I owed a lot of money on it, so I didn't want to keep paying those monthly payments. So selling it was the best option for me. So January 7th, 2024, the buyer picked up the Tesla. And basically, I would have been upside down if he didn't buy the wheels, you know, in addition to the Tesla. So that really helped me. So he bought the wheels, paid me $2,500 cash. And of course, I had to take out some loans and move some credit card funds around just to make sure that there was a clear title during the transaction, and then I was going to take the cash and just pay off some of my credit card bills and pay down my loans, so I would have not, you know, no monthly payments to worry about on that end as well. But I didn't end up doing that. I took that cash and I ended up putting it into a stock that I had invested in back in September of 2022. And I'll let you know what that stock is in a minute. But doing that, taking those wheels, the wheel money, the $2,500 wheel money, putting it in the stock market resulted in me being able to buy a Tesla again. And I think it's a good thing. I feel like miracles do happen. And the thing is, the 13th, you know, you think it's an unlucky number, right? Especially if it lands on a Friday. But the 13th landed on a Wednesday. And this was March 13th. And that was a lucky day for me because that's when I sold this particular stock. I invested in this stock on the 8th of January. The day after, on a Monday, I was like, I got the cash into the bank, and I turn around and I was watching this stock because I was seeing a momentum going. I say, wow, there's some life coming into this stock. I better put that money there, because I put it in an account thinking, okay, well, now I could start to pay off some of my credit cards and some of the loans. And then in the back of my head, it's like, maybe I should invest in this and maybe see what happens. Well, that's what I did. And, you know, I like to swing trade or day trade too, you know, or invest for the long term. Because I was invested in that particular stock, which I'll let you know what it is in a second. I love the color gray. It's obvious. Every vehicle I've had, it's been gray. Of course, the vehicle that I had before this, when I sold my Tesla, was a gas guzzling car, and it was an bright orange color. It was a fast car too, but it was definitely not a Tesla, and it was definitely not something I could plug into my wall in here and get free energy, like free fuel source. You know, with a gas vehicle, you have to put the gas in it, and it costs you money. I have solar panels on the roof. I have battery backup. I plug my Tesla in, and I'm able to charge it up for free at no cost. And I was thinking to myself, wow, you know, having a gas vehicle was eating up a lot of my monthly reserves and income. You know, it was like, this is ridiculous. You know, I've been looking for opportunities and been driving around a lot, trying to find side jobs and just exploring places. And I was commuting back and forth to some of these jobs that I was working for a while, and then until I disagreed with how they were operating, because they don't have that ethical value to them. I feel like, you know what, they're worried about their bottom line and less worried about, you know, their customers, and I don't want to be that person that works for them. I was spending more money in gas a month and maintenance because I had to replace some things. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. And then I did the math, and it came out to much more than the car payments were on the Tesla that I had. So I'm like, well, this isn't working out. So now I'm spending more between gas and maintenance, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. With a Tesla, there's no maintenance. Only maintenance is the wheels. And if you don't drive rough, you'll be okay. But that was what happened. But I decided I need to get back into an EV. And it seemed like a miracle was happening right before my eyes, because I do watch the stocks every day. I'm looking at my portfolio to see if I'm either negative in the red or in the green. And, I try to bring in some revenue through day trading stocks, but a lot of times I end up losing money doing that. So I've kind of given up on it for a while. Like, I better stop, I'm losing money on it. I have nothing left in my retirement, have nothing left in one of my brokerage accounts. Like, this is not good. So what I ended up doing is just following that stock that I invested in back in September 2022, and then I invested in again, but this was January 8th, 2024, when I had that wheel money, And this stock is called Super Microcomputer, SMCI. I bought the stock on January 8th, the day on a Monday. That's when I had the cash and ran and made it. I was quick to the bank. And then that cash, the stock price for each share of SMCI, I got in at $295 a share. So I bought about 8.4 shares, something like that. Then it started to rip over the days. It jumped up to about $1,000 a share. And I'm like, holy crap. All right, so I sold all the shares at that. And I had some huge gains right there. And then it dropped down to like 736 around there. And I was like, okay, I'm buying back in. So then I bought back in with all the winnings, right? And then it jumped up to about 975. I sold it. And then it dropped back down to around 8 something. I bought it back. So then it went up to around $1,170 is where I ended up selling it. And it did jump up even more to like $1,188 or something like that. But I tried to sell it while I felt that the momentum was just crazy. And I got out just in time because it just started to gradually go back down. So with doing that, I turned $2,500 into $16,000. So that ended up being a down payment on this, and I'm financing the rest. And the monthly payments are less than the gas that I was spending in the maintenance on the gas vehicle that I had. So that's why March 13th, 2024 was a very good day. And so I started looking for Teslas, and I'm like, okay, Tesla prices have went down a lot. So it's more affordable than it was when I first got the Tesla. So that was in my advantage. So I was looking at the market, and I was like, okay, looking at different places. And I'm like, okay, so I can trade in the gas guzzler. It was a fast car. And I was riding my bicycle for a while. It's like, well, I can't keep riding my bike here and there. It's too far. I felt like it worked out. So the 13th of March became a lucky day. So that's why there's a Tesla. And of course, I like the gray Teslas. I don't know. I like the white one too. I almost got a white one, but I ended up getting a gray again because I felt like it matched my garage. I don't know, it's part of my OCD. It matched those batteries that are in the garage because they're gray color, and it kind of matches a lot of the grays that I have in my house. And I don't know, I ended up just doing the gray. So and then also I felt like if I got the same model and the same color, then I'll feel like if I could just erase that time in my life where I had to sell it and just like convince myself that I didn't have to go through that, especially with that stalker woman, then I feel like maybe I can recover from that. And the other thing, when it comes to the stalker woman, if she was still in the United States, I probably would have bought in a different color. If I would have gotten one, I probably would have gotten a white one or a red one. But she got deported, which to me is good news because she got caught stealing. She got arrested for stealing, and find out that she's not even a legal citizen of the United States. And she was from Mexico. They deported her, so she's no longer a problem. So that was a big weight off my shoulders. But I never made a video about it. I never drew any attention to it because I wanted to confirm all that information was legit, and it surprised me to find out that she wasn't even a citizen for the last couple of years dealing with that. There was a time where she wasn't bothering me and it was like quiet, and then start stalking me again, leaving notes, stalking me and my Tesla. I'm like, so that's what happened. So the money I won from SMCI stocks, I don't know if you really, could you call it a win? I don't know. It really helped me with putting down payment on the Tesla and financing the rest, because they're much cheaper to get now. That's the sad thing, It was like when I bought it, it was not as cheap. It was a couple of years ago when I bought the Tesla. It wasn't as cheap. Here I am now, able to go places and power up my vehicle with the solar energy and not worry about gas prices or having to stop at a pump. So for those of you who were curious what the heck was going on, and you say, wait a minute, I thought you sold your Tesla. Now, if it was a different color, you would not even wonder. But if you look at the history of vehicles, I had a lot of black vehicles and a lot of gray vehicles. I kind of stuck with that color. And occasionally I have a red or a silver color, but it was mostly black or gray, So that's what happened. Thought I would share that with you because it's I don't know, it's just crazy. I feel like this is some kind of spiritual thing, that maybe this was a sign. Maybe the angels were trying to guide me, say, hey, you should invest in SMCI, it's going to take off. Who knew it was going to jump up like that? There was some news that happened back, I think it was a couple of days later after investing, there was some news of the company expanding or whatever. There's some other things happening with them. I'm like, wow. And then there was some other good news that followed up in February. And I'm like, well, things are just on a roll. So I'm like, I'm just going along for the ride because I feel like it's going to ride up and ride up. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So yeah, there was like $16,800 and something that I took. The $16,000, put it towards the Tesla. The other $800, I paid down some of the credit card bills. Much more relaxed than I was before. I still have my stress, my anxiety stress, like financial worries. We all do, especially with inflation, the cost of food going up, cost of homeowners insurance going up, your property taxes going up, everything going up. There's still those fears. There's still uncertainty because I'm not able to grow my business like I used to. It's not doing well, but at least I feel like there's hope. My friend Omar, he shared something with me about this stock that he's invested in. It's FFIE, and so I ended up investing in some of that as well. And so I was thinking, wow, maybe this will be the next opportunity for me. Maybe this is going to work out. So I put some money into that, thinking, maybe this is going to be another break for me. And we'll see where it goes. Everything's a gamble, when it comes to stocks like that, because there's no, there's no other reason for it to spike except for speculation and a pump from, just people that are sharing it through Reddit and other social media platforms. You look at the value of the stocks. Some of the things that you're looking at is the strength of the company. You're looking at so many different things. The fundamentals, are very important. But when you don't see the fundamentals, now you're just basically bidding on speculation that it's going to jump up, and everybody's like got that mentality. And then of course it drives the stock price up. But that makes it very scary for those who are trying to invest in a long-term hold, you know what I mean? Because it could just do a pump and dump. And that's why it's about the timing, right? Getting into something at the right time and making sure that you're not putting yourself in that situation where you end up being the one holding a bag of nothing. That's kind of that's the anxiety I deal with. And that's why I try to invest in solid companies that have the fundamentals to back it and have a good future ahead of them, without being driven up by the speculations of a possible short squeeze in a stock, which would just make it skyrocket and go parabolic, and everybody just jumps in fearing of missing out. And it's a lot of psychological things going on there, people trying to figure out what's the next move's gonna be, and anxiety inducing, and it's just a lot. And I notice in stocks like these, there's a lot of money that could be made, or a lot of money that could be lost, depending on how much money was put in and when it was put in. So that's a big gamble. And this one that I was investing in, that my friend told me about, this FFIE, there is some news about some things going on that could be a catalyst in a positive way. But then I also got to be careful about fake news out there that manipulates the market. So there's a lot of things that I have to research before I make investments in things. And I'm only just investing in house money. That's money that I've earned flipping stocks, So I'm not investing in something that I need to pay bills with. It's a scary thing. It's anxiety inducing, but there could be some winnings or a lot of losing, Reddit posts and Facebook posts and YouTube videos, with all these rallies that happen. They're good short-term plays, in my opinion. I'm very conservative. I'm not going to put in too much money into something, because if I lose it, then I'm going to what's going to happen? I'll lose my house? So I've learned to just invest extra money that I'll get. Like the wheel money, that was extra money. I'm like, okay, let me invest it. Maybe it's better to invest it than just pay down some credit cards. Because I feel like if I invest it, then I'll make a lot of money if I invest in the stocks that I've already invested in and I can see a momentum going on and I'm looking at it and say, wow, this is growing. So why not? So anyway, these are my opinions and also me sharing some of my experiences. So this is in no way any kind of financial advice. I would be the last person anyone should ever come to for that, because I don't want to steer someone down the wrong path. I think sometimes with my situations, it ends up just being a matter of luck more than any kind of logic. So it's more of a gamble. It's kind of like, are you willing to gamble? That's how I take it. So definitely do your own thing, make your own educated decisions, and you might be way better off. I am just the person who may have come across some luck, with some of my investments, but I do try to hold long term. But this one just happened to come out of nowhere, and the 13th was a lucky day for me. And, it's kind of a crapshoot, really. So kind of take what I say with a grain of salt and make your own decisions. But I don't mind hearing some advice from anybody out there who has any good ideas, because I know I could probably be in a much better position if I were more on the technical side when it comes to the market and all the businesses and corporations and just everything that's going on financially. I feel like if I had that experience as those day traders or, people that are on Wall Street, then I feel like I would be financially well off. I just think I'm just that one guy out there who just randomly lucks out once in a while. It's a gamble. For me, it's a gamble. So from now on, I'm going to just be happier. I'll be able to go more places now because I don't have to worry about the gas. When I was trying to go, like the last time I went to Florida, I don't even want to say how much I spent in gas. It scared the freak out of me. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm driving like 3 or 4 hours. This last time it was 4.5 hours that I drove to go to where I was going into Florida. And if that was in the gas guzzling car that I had sold or traded in with my down payment too. So that really helped. But I didn't get a whole lot for that thing. The gas was ridiculous. You know what? It's over with. It's behind me. Now it's time to move forward. New beginning, new hope, positive vibes. I know there are some setbacks. I did upload a video yesterday of me out in Florida because, I wanted to drive to this place called Sprouts and I wanted to visit some friends and I wanted to explore some places, and it was in a part of Florida that's much more further away from me than some of my friends. So I said, you know what, it's time to get out of Georgia for a while. Let's go to Florida. So I drove 4.5 hours, ended up in a part of Florida that was around a friend of mine. And I also would pass through an area that was, one of my best friends. And then I stopped at Sprouts and I just had to, I'm all about health food. I stocked up a lot of food. I was going to stay at a hotel. And unfortunately, it was like this. The price to stay at a hotel, it went up significantly. I guess it's the Memorial Day weekend. And I was looking at hotel prices and I can afford that. That's not a problem. So when I get there and I'm like, okay, well, I want to stay now. I'm staying the night so I can explore again the next day. I start looking for reservations at the, ones that are halfway decent. And they're like $200 a night, $300 a night. I'm like, are you kidding me? And there was barely any vacancies left. And I'm like, I guess I just go back home. It would be cheaper for me to go back home and then drive back out there than it would be to stay there. And so today was my intentions were to go down to Florida again, but not go as far south because there were some areas of interest that I wanted to explore that was not that far south. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going anywhere or not. I might. But I also have some footage that I forgot to include in my video from yesterday. I went into the Sprouts and I recorded some content inside Sprouts, but then I was exploring some places while in that area and I forgot to include it in the damn video. So it's basically me exploring in the back of my woods before leaving to go on this road trip to Florida. And then I left out it might have been about 6 or 7 minutes of clips of me exploring places. Maybe that's why the video didn't do well. Maybe that's why the ratings were sucking on it, because there wasn't much content to it except for me talking, and then it was me in the backwoods, and then it was me at Sprouts shopping around, then it was me back here. I don't know. I'm sorry if that was a disappointment. I know it wasn't paranormal content or paranormal type or ghost type content, because it seems like that's what really seems to do better on this channel. But I just want to have happiness in my life, and I want my mental health to stay in good terms. I don't want my mental health falling apart because of the paranormal crap. You know what I mean? I don't care. Like I said, I'll do ghost hunting away from home because I can leave that place and leave those energies behind as long as nothing attaches to me. I can leave that behind and come back home and say, thank God I'm back home where I can relax and not think about ghosts. But when I was making videos and drawing attention to my house in a way that, makes videos that are entertaining for the paranormal community, I feel like all I think about is ghosts and demons and negative energy when I'm in my house. And so that brings me back to this AI device in here. Why this Alexa whispered, get out of this house now. Did I freak out? Am I running? Am I leaving the house now? Am I running down the street panicking? No, because I've heard whispers out of this thing before. And I feel like, what if I'm being trolled by some hacker? I don't know. The thought has crossed my mind. It really has. Could somebody get into the account and make it do that? Let me know. I decided to just stay home instead of hitting the road and going back down to Florida because, it's a lot of driving, and I was going to see one of my good friends. He's a YouTube content creator. You've seen him in my videos, but he's not in town right now, so it's not like I can just hang out with him. So the only thing that I was going to do was explore some places by myself, and then I had another friend who was much further south to go visit, but I didn't really want to have to drive that far again. If the hotels were more affordable, then I would have stayed at a hotel. But, the days where I used to spend, $200 a night at a hotel, those days have come and gone. And I was looking for maybe $89 a night to $95 a night hotel stays. And it's bait and switch sometimes. You look at the price and, oh, look, it's under $100. I can do it. Even though it's still kind of stretching things, kind of trying to save money, but it's maybe I'll find something good to explore and it'll do well on YouTube, and maybe it'll get 1 million views and that'll take care of the $100 hotel stay. I think that way, and so I am a little disappointed that some video clips were left out, and I just want to ask you, should I include them in the next video? Let me know. Do you have any interest in seeing those clips? Because I don't want to waste your time with them if you're not interested in them, because the other video didn't do well. It's very disappointing. It's heartbreaking. I wish it was better. And like I said, maybe because those clips were missing, that's why it didn't do well. But I thought going to Sprouts was nice, I thought that was good content. It's wholesome, natural food. And the part that I thought was humorous was me getting all the things to take for the road trip, getting the beet powder and the strawberries. I just thought that had some kind of comical vibe to it, and I thought it would resonate well with everybody, but it seemed like it did the opposite. I don't know. It's actually starting to get too humid out here. It must be a heat wave coming or something. But I gotta eat something. I haven't even had breakfast yet. I've been so caught up trying to get this video out. because I got so stressed when the other video didn't do well. And like, I need to crank out 3 videos a week, and they need to be something that's worth watching, you know? And I'm very hard on myself when it comes to this. You know, it's like, I'm disappointed because of how the videos were going when they have nothing to do with ghosts. Like the recent video, I almost broke my computer last night. I had anger. I really was angry, and I shouldn't be angry about it. I should just not let it get to me, but I really got outraged. I feel like sometimes things aren't fair in life. Like, what did I do to be dealt this, you know, card where, you know, when I want to be happy on YouTube, no one wants to watch it, or they don't care, or only those who are invested in me and watch my content for me are the only ones watching and caring, and you know who you are. And then there's those who just want the paranormal, and if I don't have paranormal, it's like they give it a thumbs down. They don't watch the video. It's like they can care less about my life. They just want to see ghosts, and I'm done. I'm done making my house a negative thing, you know, like I'm done with all that. Elsewhere, like I said, I'll go exploring places somewhere else, but I'd rather do it with my friends. But any of my friends who would like to be on YouTube and who also have interest in the paranormal are way out of town, and I am not flying on a plane anywhere. Just can't do it right now. This is just a heads up. The next video is going to be paranormal type content. So if you're into the ghost videos and paranormal videos, then that video may be more your type of video. So the next one after this is a paranormal video. Did I cave in? I don't know. I'm not even going to get into it too much. I feel like I'm just going to be dragging this on, but here's the next video is going to be here soon. It might even be like the same day this video is posted, or it might be the day after, but just be on the lookout for it. And then we'll figure out what direction we're going from that point. Anyway, all of you are amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my content. I hope you stay safe out there. You know, it's a Memorial Day weekend. A lot of things happening, a lot of crazies out there. So be careful out there and stay safe. Be sure to smash that like button on here. Last video didn't do well. It broke my heart. It made me almost want to quit YouTube. It made me want to delete the video. I really, at this point, I just don't know why when I'm happy, it doesn't show in the views and the engagement. It should. I feel like it should rank higher than this paranormal type content that I was sharing from my house. I feel like it's doing the opposite, and I don't want that to continue that way. So smash that like button, share it on social media, on YouTube, and make sure you got your notification bell on so you don't miss a thing. And be sure to subscribe, because I'm trying not to re-upload content, but when YouTube is not pushing out the videos to all my subscribers, then I feel like there's many of them that are missing the notifications and not seeing the video. Like one of the videos that I re-uploaded only had like maybe 10,000 views, and I have 238,000 subscribers. So it only made sense to re-upload it because there's still 228,000 that didn't see it yet. So you know what I'm saying? That's my logic right there. I'm using that logic. I'm like, well, if it didn't happen the first time, maybe it's like going to a casino and gambling. Maybe every time that you upload it, a new different batch of people see it. So I figured maybe if I upload it numerous times and include some new content in it so that those who already saw it won't be totally disappointed, at least maybe people who missed it get a chance to see it second time around or third time around, you know? That's kind of why you might see re-uploads mixed in with new content, because I'm trying to shuffle it around so that everybody gets a chance to see what they missed. But anyway, take care and be safe.